This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
All right, everybody, welcome to 2.5 Weebs, episode number 2. Gurren Laggan is the anime we're discussing this week. We watched the first 3 episodes. What did you all think of? Who hasn't seen this?
Three of us have.
I meant before this.
I think it was the third anime I ever watched. I think the actual order of me watching shows was Sword Art, Attack on Titan, and then Gurren Laggan.
I've watched some of this before. I haven't watched the whole thing. Just because I was watching this, I think, in college the first time, so I just got busy. Because college is a pain in the ass and takes a lot of time.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah. I hear that.
Covey would know. He's currently doing it.
I have 5 classes this semester.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
5 classes is pretty bad.
Okay, so what did you all think of this?
This show?
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Yeah. Have you seen the whole thing now? Then?
No, I haven't seen the whole thing all the way through. I know the story though.
I have seen the whole thing start to finish multiple times. I'm very versed in this world.
Okay.
He's that guy.
Okay.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
You're like treating me like I'm a goddamn pariah, and it's like this. It's entertaining.
Comfy. Well,
I'm not treating you like I was a girl talking to you. No, it's fine.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh man!
Oh, we're so mean. Why are you so mean? Oh,
there's mean but funny. It was mean but funny.
Quick sidebar. Copper. Apparently, Biscuits has been beating up Vengeance with words, like abusing him because you and Vengeance were mean to me on that one podcast.
I want to. It was Copper. Don't involve me in Copper being an asshole.
The best part was like Vengeance said something mean yesterday, and then Biscuits was like, "You know what, Compy? I've been kicking his ass all day. I've had your back. I know the truth." And I was like, "Yeah, kick his ass."
Yeah, I was catching some serious flack last couple days from all you fuckers. Yeah. Whatever, it happens.
It's a thing.
It's a good time.
Life happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mock each other, are you even friends? So
yeah, of course.
Now I know Comfy's seen the whole thing a few times.
Yes.
Dale, did you stop at episode 3?
No, I've seen up until the big middle spoilery part.
So episode 8.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You watched that episode?
Yes, you watched that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a twist that the first time going through you're not going to see coming.
No.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't watched any beyond that though. I think I probably will at some point. Poor Mrs. Kaylee though. Holy shit, she gave me all of the looks for this show. I will say I hate Yoko. Like she is awful. I don't mind.
She becomes like the best character.
I just wish she would not be in her fucking like underwear. Like
technically it's a bikini.
Whatever. I don't give a shit.
I mean, they live in a desert world. It's hot. I mean, the guys go around half.
No. You look at people who really live in deserts. They are like fully clothed, wearing like very loose fitting.
That's a very specific region of desert.
What do you mean? No, desert. They wear loose fitting clothes because it keeps them cool.
That culture does. Other cultures don't. Other cultures just don't wear a lot of clothes at all.
There are a lot of desert cultures that do not wear clothes.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of India?
Well, either way, it just, I don't know. It drove me insane.
Yeah.
It also bothered me. Like they were
look at you going, the fuck, Dale?
Right. Yeah. She's like, not even her. Like, I hate it too. It's like, come on. I can't take her seriously. It's like, you're not a serious character, but you know, whatever. Damn it, Dale, it's anime. I know it's anime, Nova, but
to be fair, she's also a fucking brat in the first like 12 episodes.
Yes. Yeah. She is very
she's
not super likable in the first few episodes.
Because she's like super try hard to get into some dude's pants who kind of doesn't really care. And in the meantime, she's like shoving off Simone the entire time and is like, yo, piss off.
Well,
and
how
like,
old
go
is
away, small
Simone in
child.
this character? He's like really young, isn't he still?
He's like, he's very young.
Yeah,
He's
so
young.
like,
Yeah,
the fuck.
to start with. But I mean, most of them are like. There's not a lot of old people.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
Nobody made it to old age,
That's
which
true.
is, it's an important plot point. That like everybody died young. But also I want to talk about, so you watched episode 4.
Yeah.
So episode 4 is unanimously decided upon as the worst episode in the series.
Okay, which one was 4? Was that the one where he was throwing rocks at him and like, get better? It's just
Yeah, that's exactly the
okay.
one.
Yeah, that was kind of
So they had a guest director and animator. And if you look very not closely, because it's very obvious, sorry. If you look very not closely, you'll see that all of the face animations are terrible. Like really bad. It's not good and it hurts to watch. I actually started watching it and then skipped the episode because I know what happens.
I didn't really pay close enough attention to notice. Maybe I just didn't care. I don't know. Maybe if I were to think about it and watch it again, I might notice, but
yeah.
For the most part, whatever. I don't think it would really bother me too much either. I don't care. Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it happens. As much as they don't want it to happen, it happens.
Yeah.
And what can you do?
So I also really fucking hated how there was like multiple times in the show where they would be having a real conversation and then it would be like, look at Yoko's ass just blatantly, or like, look side boob, or it's like, it's just there in the shot, just like, look.
That did happen quite a bit. You're not.
It happens like multiple times. I'm just like,
it happens a lot to begin.
please.
Well, here's the thing: these shows like this that have stuff like this.
Yeah,
there's more of it front loaded in the series than there
get
is
you
as the
invested.
series continues. Right, because it gets a certain type of person invested in the show.
There's actually like light spoilers. There's none of her ass in the entire second season.
Wait, there's 2 seasons?
It's proper. Yes, there's 2 seasons. Yeah. There's like the first 12 episodes and the second 12 episodes.
Yeah, I think Netflix has it all up in one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's very clearly, it's the same as like Sword Art Online was 2 seasons, where the first season was the first 15 episodes and the second season was the second 11 episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. It's a completely
you were
different.
watching it on
I was on Netflix.
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And Netflix doesn't show. It shows it as one season. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has all the episodes there, but I think it's like one season.
Yeah,
which is a little, not right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the stupid humor in the show.
Yeah,
like I thought it was hilarious when he finds this robot thing and you're expecting something huge and the thing is like 5 foot tall.
Yeah, it's this sneaky little thing.
Wait, so he's in episode 8, so it's definitely gotten to the size of like 800.
Yes, it's huge now, but when he first finds it, it's just like this dinky tiny little thing. He's like, look what I found. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
I love the play on like all of the mecha animes where it's like, it's becoming more powerful. Like there's the one episode where it's like, we're gonna combine. It's like they're gonna combine, and then it like cuts to it and he just shoves it on top of his head. And it's like
just the dumbest thing.
It just destroys the whole ceiling of the mech, and then like all of a sudden, because fuck it, it's combined. Also, I really like how it's like these stupid robots are fueled by fighting spirit. I think it's awful and hilarious.
This is very much, and it's funny because Trigger does this completely on purpose. This show is very much it's making fun of mech animes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
it's
100%, and that's
hilarious.
like Trigger does that a lot with their shows. Like All Kill la Killas is making fun of school fight animes because it's the dumbest concept ever. But it's like everything that they do is very clearly making fun of a trope in a mech anime, like fighting spirit being able to overpower it. Like that's something that happens in like I don't want to say Voltron, but I feel like that's where it's coming from.
It happens in a few times, kind of in Voltron.
But like it happens in like
fighting spirit.
It happens in what the fuck is the one that I'm thinking of? I can't think of the name of it, but it happens in the one that's all about politics and bullshit.
Oh,
I know you've mentioned it.
I have mentioned it. I can't think of the name right now.
Come on, brain work.
Right? Like you know what I'm talking. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
There we go.
Happens in that. I was so far off. I could think of Lelouch. I could not think of the name of the show.
Oh, the name was just sitting on the tip of my tongue. Is like, I know this.
Yeah. So it happens in that. It happens in Iron-Blooded Orphans, but it makes sense in that show, which I love.
Yes.
Because he like lost use of his arm and like used it to substitute power.
I still hate how they ended that show though.
I love it because they didn't give you the ending you wanted. They gave you the ending you deserved, which is like sounds brutal as shit, but that's exactly what it is. Like they gave you the ending that you deserved. Yeah,
it doesn't have a good ending. Let's put it that way, Dale. It's like not that the ending is bad, like badly written or anything like that. It's just it doesn't turn out well for anybody who's in the show.
It turns out well. It doesn't turn out well for the characters that you wanted it to turn out well for.
Yeah.
But it turns out well for the future. Like, it's a very interesting concept ending where they're like, yeah, so we're gonna like end the show, and it's going to be like for a better future, but it's not going to be good for the people who are immediately here right now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. It was very well done.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I will probably attempt to keep up or catch up with this thing. It'll take me a while. I also, I won't be able to torture Kaylee with 8 episodes a day again. She'll probably stab me if I do that again. Like, it was.
Wait, did you watch all of them in one day?
Yeah. It
I
was.
think you did. Yeah, I think you just binge watched it.
I think I just sat down and watched them Sunday. That's what I do. Like I only take one day off of streaming, so like that's what I do. Like that one day off of stream, I just kind of veg on the couch.
He's like, I'll binge watch this. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is a show that I binge watch all the time because it's mindless, it's stupid, it's hilarious, it's fun.
I love how dumb the robot is. He's like, yo, we're gonna take this chunk of metal and give my robot sunglasses.
Yeah,
dude, right?
What? You're dumb. Dude, this is so stupid, and it's hilarious, and I loved it. And then like later, he used the damn sunglasses as a sword, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing, but it's hilarious.
You'll definitely love the show then. Like,
this show fun.
It's dumb.
It's a very fun.
That tone that you have honed in on as what you like about this show is exactly what they built the show around.
Yeah,
and it only gets better from there. Like, there's definitely shows where like it builds on one thing, but it's different later on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's funny that because that's exactly what Fate was. The entire first 3 episodes were set up, and none of the rest of the series is like that. This entire show is exactly like what we watched.
Yeah,
where it's brutal, it's dumb, it's hilarious.
Oh God, what is the quote? Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes
don't believe in
you.
yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you. I use that all the goddamn time, and now you're gonna notice it, and you're gonna hate it.
I'm not gonna hate you for it. I think it's hilarious and like God, and it helped him. He's like this little kid.
Well,
Just like, oh fuck yeah! It's like, dude,
The show is dumb, fun, hilarious, but it actually has a really good message behind it, which is don't stop believing in yourself.
Aw.
Oh, yeah. There's our sweet moment of the week.
Aw. Comfy, you're not a monster.
Was I ever?
I wasn't really sure that. I mean, of the three of us, Comfy's definitely not the worst person. Like,
wow, Copper, I feel attacked.
Your name has vengeance in it.
Look, well, don't make me be vengeful.
Vengeful potato.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
Okay. So yeah,
Vengeance.
I just kind of like animes that make fun of each other or make fun of themselves. Like if they take themselves too seriously, I just can't help but cringe because I think there's too much in anime that makes me cringe.
What's the most serious anime we can find?
Don't do
Violet Evergarden.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's a very, very serious anime, and
besides Iron-Blooded Orphans, what's the most serious thing we could find?
Probably that one, just because it's that serious of a subject. Yeah. Like it deals with very serious subject matters.
What are we now? What am I googling here?
Violet Evergarden. It's
on Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing with it though, Dale, is that it's serious for a reason. Like,
what is this about?
Like, it's not serious for like no good reason.
It's serious because it's actually trying to like tell a story.
Yeah.
It's not like, these super mechs are going to be out defeated by our mega mechs. They don't stand a chance.
There's mechs?
No, there's not.
Not in this one, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically, she is a mech.
Yeah, I read the plot on Wikipedia. Okay.
She's got the robo arm.
It seems very weird, that plot, like the first couple lines of it.
I've watched the first couple episodes. I totally get what they're building at, but I wasn't hooked.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it hooked my girlfriend. She watched that show pretty much like a sit through.
Is there just one season out right now of it?
There's a season and a special.
There's a movie? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a special that's out as well.
Okay.
So, you can always watch that too. If anybody has seen the show and is looking for more, there is a little more to go and watch.
Okay.
Man, we should watch another Trigger show.
We will run out of Trigger shows eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Trigger shows are always like, they're always just like a home run.
They're always a good time. Trigger shows are always great.
Yeah. I don't think he'll like Kill la Kill, but I think it'll be a great time.
I already know enough about Kill la Kill because
he won't like Kill la Kill just based on.
Oh, I've seen the pictures.
Of course, that's why he won't like. Yeah. That's why he won't like it.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Okay.
The main character design
drives me
turn
insane.
you off, Dale.
I've seen pictures. I googled it last week. Yeah. Remember?
The only reason I can like justify it is because the main character is at the same exact time. Like, why am I in these clothes? This is stupid.
Yeah, the main character also thinks what's going on is dumb, so at least there's that.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. So, any thoughts for next week? Are we looking at doing that Evergarden show?
No.
Okay. All right.
Let's not roll into that. I feel
that
was
like
a
little.
It's a little serious.
It's a little serious, and it might be a little slow. Like that's a slog to go through. I think.
Okay. All right.
I didn't get hooked by the first episode or two of that one, and I don't think Comfy did either. So it's definitely a more serious watch.
It's something that you're gonna need to sit down and actually take time to watch instead of just kind of like showing up and hoping that it'll figure itself out like we do with most shows.
Yeah. The newer shows that came out aren't aren't past like episode 2, I don't think yet.
Okay.
I haven't looked at a list of the new shows that are out right now.
I need to watch.
there
I
seems
need
to
to catch
be a
up with
couple-
Goblin Slayer. Like I want to. I really do.
You should, because that one, the season is now finished for Goblin Slayer.
Uh-huh.
It does look like they will be getting another season as well, from what is shown at the last episode. Basically, there's a little note from the production cast saying that it'll come back. So, which is generally an indication that they're going to have another season.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the times, if the show does well enough, they'll like put a thing at the end that's like, "Hey, yeah, season 2 coming soon."
Yeah,
neat.
Because they usually don't get the green light for season 2 until very near the end.
Uh-huh.
So instead of making a proper announcement, like, "Hey, everybody, season 2 of that show you like is available," they'll just put it in the show.
And people are always curious whether something is going to get another season, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, is this getting one? Like, should I actually invest in this? Should I not?
Give Devil as a part-timer season 2. But no, they're Konosuba got its season 2 announcement at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
That's when they got greenlit.
Yeah.
I know there's other shows that have done it that I've watched.
What's it? That cooking show did it as well.
Food Wars?
Food Wars.
Yeah, Food Wars.
Food Wars definitely did it.
Yeah, they did
They
it.
announced all of their seasons at
Ahead of time. Yeah. So they were getting they had enough ratings each season to go, yeah, we're coming back. Screw screw it.
This is the longest hiatus we haven't had them, and it's upsetting to me because I want more Food Wars.
Well, they pumped out a lot of episodes real quick.
Yeah, no, they pumped out 3 seasons
back
in
to back, which is
a
nuts.
year.
Yeah. Usually you don't see that happen. So
Yeah, let's actually look up when Food Wars season 4 is coming.
So they're on season 3 now.
Are they on season 3?
I mean, you just said
they're going into season 4. They've had
They're
3 seasons. Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be summer. Damn, one more season. Then I get my
you get your fix. Yeah. Your exploding clothing fix.
But wait, he's using shiitake mushrooms. Ah! Listen, that show is ridiculous for all of the right reasons.
I mean, he's not wrong. It is a very ridiculous show.
Just listen to what they're saying when they're cooking. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do this and all that stuff, all that garbage that they need to do." All right. So, how's your guys' week been? You do anything fun?
Been pretty.
I haven't been up to much, aside from getting some work stuff done, which I really need to pick the pace up on. Just because I feel I'm going too slow. My clients currently don't mind, because both of them are like, take your time on stuff, which is cool. But I like getting stuff out in a timely manner just because it clears the books off easier, and then I have more time to do other work at that point. Aside from that, I took some time and went and got the sniper for Destiny 2 that came out.
Oh, you were lucky enough to get Izanagi's burden.
Well, see, I was smart, and I kind of knew ahead of time, thanks to some leaks, that you needed one of the rare bounties. So when I got one, I just sat on it.
Cheater. You're a cheater, Copper. I had one of those, and I turned it in because I'm not a cheater like you.
I even got the easiest one, which is just do 6 forges.
Nah, see, mine was easier.
What was yours?
I had to use Arc Void and Solar Weapons in the Forge.
That one takes even longer to do, I find, because if you just run through to do forges, it's stupid fast, which is great.
Neat.
But I got lucky enough that I got that. No, all right. Are we ready to talk about Destiny bullshit RNG? Is this the time of the week that it is?
We can do a little video game part, yeah.
I mean,
all right, motherfuckers.
We'll talk about video games, of course.
So there's a title in the video game Destiny 2. It's called Curse Breaker. You get it for breaking the Dreaming City curse. All that shit. Now, you might be sitting there and being like, wow, I bet you have to do a lot for that. You're right. You do. You want to know what I'm missing for it? A goddamn ship, a ghost, and a pulse rifle that you have to get from specific things, and I won't be able to get them to drop for another 3 goddamn weeks because of the way the game's set up.
That's really unfortunate.
Well, the pulse rifle comes from
the raid.
The
the corrupted strike.
From the corrupted strike.
We're thinking.
Which I actually
it's the nightfall drop for the corrupted, so you have to have the corrupted up. Get it?
Okay. I haven't seen anything about that pulse rifle.
The ship, you need to get a certain type of key.
No, the ship is from Duel. The one that you're thinking of with the key is the raid ship.
Okay, so you need the other ship.
I need the Dreaming
City ship. Okay.
You need to get it from Shattered Throne.
Yeah. And then do you need the ghost shell?
I do need the ghost shell.
Yeah. Good luck on that one.
Because that comes from the that comes from the Ascendant Challenge.
Yep.
Which I can try 3 times a week, but I'm still not getting it.
Yeah, it's a very low drop chance on it.
Yep, it's making me a very sad panda.
I would imagine. A lot of people are very upset about the drop rates on those 3 particular items because they're all somewhat gated items, and if you don't get them, well, like there's not much you can do.
Yeah, no, it's kind of dumb. I'm not about it.
I think we've all been blown away by the fact that Destiny is now an indie game as well, which is
we can talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucking massive.
Massive
Activision
news of the week. Yes.
no longer is in charge of Bungie. Bungie somehow escaped their contract and gets to keep Destiny as their property.
Well, here's the thing.
Seems very shocking.
So, for everybody who knows Bungie, back in the day when they used to be the Halo guys.
Never heard of Halo. Is that a big game?
It was a big game. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
They split with Microsoft,
Indie
but
title.
the contract they had with Microsoft basically said if they left, that Microsoft would keep the IP. So which they were fine with. They said, fine, we'll go and make our own game. Not a big deal.
That's why they wanted to leave Microsoft anyways, was to make their own game.
Yes.
They were lucky enough to work it out with Microsoft that they built a team of all the people at Bungie that still wanted to make Halo, and basically built a skeleton company called 343 that they then hired in, and that became the Halo dev studio.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So because of that, it basically taught Bungie the fact that, hey, if we're working with a big company, we're probably going to be signing over our IP rights. So it looks like to me, when they went to Activision and made a deal with them, they did so with a better contract. So they had to agree to Activision's time frame in a 10-year deal, which is a really long deal, especially for annual releases, right? That Activision demands. But it looks like they had a buyout clause in it, and it looks like they had a clause in it saying that if they did buy out, that they would keep the IP. There might have been an extra fee for doing so, don't know, but it looks like that's probably the case. So Bungie gets to leave, they get to keep their IP, which is great. And more interesting is the fact that, well, that Activision has already been something on the way down this year. Activision has announced that 3 of their senior people are leaving this year or have left already. This includes like their chief financial officers for Activision, chief financial officer for Blizzard Activision. I think their CEO is also leaving, which are usually bad signs when you have people this far up in a company leaving. And they're all going to other tech companies, not video game companies, tech companies. So it looks like it's just a matter of pay.
See, what's funny is I feel like this is the year that Activision got too big for themselves.
And at the same time, they also, dropped how much percentage in like stock value this year?
I don't remember exactly, but it was kind of insane.
It was a huge amount. And then the Destiny thing, they dropped another 10 point something stock percentage. So they're down like probably 40-50% from where they started at the start of last year, which is insane. That's a huge drop.
Lot. That's a big change. Yeah.
And it kind of looks like they want to move away from doing AAA video games because they're pushing Blizzard, and everybody knows how big Blizzard is,
right,
to go and do mobile games, which is an odd push.
Yeah, I think a lot of Blizzard fanboys are not going to be thrilled with Blizzard in the next coming years.
A lot of
Blizzard's gonna go to hit. Blizzard's gonna. It's. I feel like it's just gonna go to shit because Activision is going to steer them in a bad direction.
I have a lot I want to say about this, but I need to go to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom.
Here, I'm gonna.
We're gonna have to start making sure Comfy goes to the bathroom before we sit
at least
down.
Once every 5 minutes, you know.
You're gonna have to get him a pee bottle.
Make sure he doesn't die. This is not for pee.
Okay.
We'll talk about my health issues in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks like Activision is really pushing to do mobile games, which is a thing that they could do. But it's not a good thing.
I mean, it might be good for them financially, but not in the eyes of all of their fans.
The problem with Activision doing mobile is that mobile has some really, really, really big companies in it already. And they're big enough that they make Activision look like an indie studio. So you're looking at things like NetEase and things like that. Like these studios are massive, just absolutely massive. No, that are not owned by Blizzard. So you have these big giant companies, and that's where they want to get into that space, that mobile space. It really is looking like, and I don't think it's going to go well for them. Their fan base aren't mobile gamers.
Mm-hmm.
They've already said they want to do, like bring over Blizzard's top properties to mobile. Okay, well, they've already announced they're cutting support for Heroes of the Storm. There's already some rumors going around.
I did not know about that.
They cut out all the tournaments. Like they shut all the tournaments down. They've pretty much moved most developers off it onto other projects. And there's basically, it looks like the first steps in shutting the game down is what it looks like from every other MOBA that's ever taken these steps. None of them have continued on for more than a year after that point.
Yeah.
So that's worrying and annoying for a lot of the fan base.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been rumors going around that Hearthstone is going to go into maintenance mode, which means less development for Hearthstone, is what the rumors are. Well, they push for mobile on other things, right? Because they've already come out and said they moved all their top developers onto mobile-based products and projects, which is a huge thing. They haven't announced Diablo 4. And there's all these leavings at the company. There's like a lot of rumors going around, and it's a bad scene all around. And I know some people are like, oh, Bungie's going to be closed within a year or two, right? 2 years at max because they're not going to be able to support themselves. That's not really true. I mean, Epic launched their store launcher. Mm-hmm. So if they move to Epic, they get to keep 88% of all profits made from their sales, which is a huge amount. It's bigger than what Steam offers by far. And in addition to that, that's a launcher where people are going to have it because that's where you get things like Fortnite.
Yep.
And Epic is making a huge push to become the player in the space, right? Because they want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And with something like Fortnite footing the bill, they can easily do that. So I expect to see Destiny, the next iteration of it, which is probably going to be more of a persistent world where they just add stuff into constantly as DLC that we probably end up purchasing. And I expect it to be there, really.
All right.
And I don't think they're going to fail, despite what people think. They had a huge influx of cash from NetEase to make a new IP for them.
$100 million.
Yep. For a new IP. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're looking at what's out there now. They're looking at all the problems that Activision is having. And they went, you know what? They're not seeing our vision for this. We're tired of, compromising on stuff. We're tired of, the uncertainty that's surrounding Activision over this last year. Let's buy ourselves out. and then plan for the future. Because there's no way a company that size, and despite what people saying, oh, indies, they're just an independent studio. Bungie's a big studio still.
Yes.
I mean, this is also like CD Projekt Red is also an indie studio.
Yes.
By definition, because they self-publish. However, if you look at the size of CD Projekt Red, they're kind of massive.
Yeah. There's some big independent studios. There's not many of them anymore because it's hard to publish. Most it was. Now, though, you've got Steam and now you've got Epic. And Epic is offering the financials that would keep these studios afloat. Over 80% you keeping the revenue stream is not a joke. That's a large sum of money. And despite Activision saying, oh, we're not happy with Destiny 2 sales, oh, we're not happy with Forsaken sales, Bungie looked at the same numbers and said, fuck you, those are great numbers.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Bungie decided themselves, they're like, we are more than happy with the sales that we currently have.
Yeah. Every time Bungie puts out a DLC or Destiny when it comes out, the PlayStation Store, they release their top sellers, right? For add-ons and stuff like that. Destiny's always in them.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Destiny, Forsaken, I think Destiny moved like millions of copies when Forsaken came out.
And, that's $40 a pop, right? You're probably looking at the low end because you can add on the yearly add-on as well, right? So you're looking at, so let's say they sold 2 million copies at $40 a piece, right? That's not chump change, right? That'll keep a studio afloat, no problem, especially the size of Bungie. And they're not a studio that overworks their people, so people don't tend to leave their studio.
They're one of very few studios that has a pretty good retention rate.
Yeah, people have you'll see it on social media for anybody who follows any of the devs for Bungie. Bungie gives them like a little shield thing where they can stick little shields on that they get for working there for so many years or for different things that haven't been a part of when they launch.
Yeah.
So you've got guys who've worked for Bungie for like 20, 25 years. Like
you've got people that have worked through fucking Marathon.
Yeah.
And are still working there.
Like, which is insane for any video game studio. Like their retention rate is through the roof because they pay well. They have good benefits. They don't allow you to do overtime unless there's a really good reason for it. So there's no crunch time with Bungie, right? There's mandatory holiday time you have to take off. Like they make sure that you have a work-life balance, even if you didn't want to have a work-life balance, because the better you are balanced like that, so you're not burnt out, the better work you're going to produce. And that's the case for any creative endeavor. It's if you're burnt out, you do shit work and you do get shit results. So if someone's in a good, healthy place mentally and physically, they're going to produce better work for you. And they're very strict on that. Now, Bungie has had some internal problems with some CEOs and stuff like that. This is why we've had things restart a couple of times.
The CEO forced Destiny to restart their story. Forced one of the composers to leave.
Now, I don't think they're there anymore, so they have kind of cleaned house that way. It looks like they've improved internal communications as well. But as to the big problem people had with D2 when it launched, which was the casual, the aiming at the casual market.
That was an Activision. That was
Activision.
That had to have been. There's no way it wasn't.
There's not a thing in the world of that doesn't reek of Activision's interference. Right. Not a thing, because they've done it with other games.
Yeah,
and you can always tell when it's them. The same way when they pushed microtransactions in, that's them. They wanted microtransactions. They wanted yearly releases. They wanted, aiming at the larger, biggest audience they possibly can capture.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I am probably way more likely to maybe purchase microtransactions in Destiny now.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
As of right now, it's still going to Activision, so don't. But.
Right. Well, yeah. But like once it's
one of the things that
September, I think is probably when they're probably going to be done.
When?
Probably September.
September. Okay.
The current release is set up for Destiny. So the annual pass thing. That's through Activision still. So all the stuff up to that point is going to be Activision. They haven't given us a date for the official cut time between the two companies, but given the release structure and how things work for them, I'm guessing September. Because
they said specifically multiple times, nothing will be changing between now and September.
Yeah.
The current release schedule for content will remain the same.
Because
it will not get any better. It will not get any worse.
Good.
But so I feel like Activision has been running like a company trying to get money, and Bungie has not been, and they've been at odds because of that. So you have Activision, who's trying to get as much revenue as possible, make shareholders happy, versus you have Bungie, who's doing other things, just like going out trying to make people happy and trying to like make their own game. And as a company who's like working with them, and you're like, wow, you're not bringing me a whole lot of money, I don't know why we made this deal. Then you have Activision, who wants to get out of it. And I feel like Activision they've kind of pushed their good graces with everyone this year to the limit.
Massively.
We had at the beginning of last year, we had Call of Duty World War II, which had a lot of microtransaction stuff that people weren't happy about.
To say the least.
I'm going back a little bit.
What else has Activision done? What are they? I'm not even sure.
Let's look up for Activision games.
Yeah, let me Google that too. I want to see.
Because I want to get a whole list of everybody they fucked over.
So
they released
Call of Duty.
They released Destiny 2, which was built for casual players, which everybody's like been like, yeah, we know.
Call of Duty with its annual releases, Skylanders with its releases.
They didn't do Skylanders, they just did Spyro, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, Spyro and Crash, but let's be real, those are just remasters. Like that's not
those
exactly.
Are remasters,
yeah. That's it.
Skylanders is incredibly. Isn't that the game with the like dolls that you buy?
The little figures, things that look like,
that's very money grubby.
Of course it is. That's all it is. But it literally was
drain money out of parents.
there was a boardroom meeting that they said, we have this IP, which was the Spyro IP. How do we make money off of this without making more Spyro games? Because Spyro games is like it takes effort to make it, and you have to have the team behind it, and you have to make the story. It's like, what do we do? Well, let's just take the universe and pull money out of it. That's a great idea. You get a promotion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where Skylanders takes place.
That's literally all it is. But so Activision has been pushing people like towards the edge for a while, and Activision Blizzard as a whole has been kind of in that direction.
It's really rough.
Because nobody was happy with BlizzCon this year. There was one thing I was happy about from BlizzCon this year, and it was Warcraft 3 remade. That's the only thing I wanted. That's the only thing I'm happy about from BlizzCon. Nobody else was happy with that stuff. Like, it just Blizzard has been misstepping because Activision, and Activision has been misstepping because they're getting too greedy. They're getting their hands where they don't need to be.
Let's put it this way. Okay, so aside from the 10% drop they've had since Destiny, since Bungie said they're splitting from them, in November, just November last year, they dropped almost 28% in stock price.
Amazing.
Just in November, and that
was funny enough. That was because of Destiny as well.
Yeah,
that was Curse of Osiris. That was people lost faith in their IP.
That was this November just passed, like 3 months ago.
Oh, that was this November.
Yeah, so like 3 months ago, they lost 30%, basically.
That was BlizzCon. That's what it was.
And then this month they've lost 10%. So that shows you how that company is doing.
Listen, I liked Blizzard. I liked the games that they've put out, but I
like Blizzard. I like the games Blizzard makes.
That's a good way to put it.
That Blizzard has currently is that Activision owns part of them. So it's not like where with Bungie they can kind of step away from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're stuck until they buy back their stock.
Yeah,
if they
Bungie is the slipperiest goddamn snake in the gaming industry.
I think they were smart. I think they learned their lesson with Microsoft and went, if we're going to go with a publisher, we're going to put in some clauses that are going to protect our IP and protect us. And we're going to have to give up other stuff somewhere else for it, which was probably the annual release agreement, and probably had sales agreements they were supposed to reach.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but so they also went in on a partnership on Destiny as an IP, though. They like the ability for them to get that IP back, like regardless of whether they wrote it into the contract at the beginning or it was a bargaining chip. Like that doesn't happen. That's not how it works.
Not normally, no.
Like everybody who sees this and is like, cool, Bungie's not working with Activision. That's not how it happens. Bungie getting out from Microsoft's fingers was insane.
Yeah, they had to give up.
And respect to Microsoft. I like Microsoft, but like, I like Microsoft. I like a lot of the games. I love Halo. I like even the 343 Halos. 5 was a misstep, but cool. 343 makes good games. Like, they were able to get out from that, and they were able to just cut off their arm and say we're leaving. Which that's in an industry like this, that's not how it works. You don't get that second chance.
I think it's great though.
And Bungie, no, it's amazing. It's incredible. Like this is super good news all around.
It's very surprising news. It's also going to embolden a lot of smaller studios.
Yeah.
To show that, look, we can push for better contracts. We can put in clauses to protect ourselves. Because frankly, yeah, the publishers are kind of needed to push a big game when you're a smaller studio for funds and whatnot. But for publishing, that's a bit changing still because, as I said, Epic is coming around. And they're not going to be the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
Also the fact that, guess what? Publishers don't make games.
No, I actually had a very interesting conversation.
They still need to go to these studios to get the games made. And if a studio says, well, you have a crappy contract for us, we're not going to work with you. We're going to go over here to work with this company because we get to keep our IP. They're going to have to change the way they do business.
Yeah.
Self-publishing is getting easier and easier because people don't use discs anymore. Right? That used to be the big thing. Publishing was so expensive because you had to get it on disc. You had to get it shipped to stores. You had to get stock space in stores to sell it in the first place.
Well,
I mean, charge you for that.
We're in the golden age of indie development.
So, I mean,
yeah,
it's so easy to push a game out now and go, I'm going to go to Steam and publish myself. I'm going to go to Epic and publish it myself. I'm going to put it on, the Nintendo store, the PlayStation store, the Xbox store myself.
Yeah.
And you can skip the middleman. Publishers are becoming the middleman who nobody needs because discs aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah, no, and it's hilarious too because I was talking to my brother about this because the moment that it came out, I was like, Bungie got away from Activision. He's like, wow, this is awesome. And I was like, hey, check this out. And he's like, yeah, I wonder where they're going to sell it. And I was like, well, probably on Steam or the Epic Store. And he was like, why would they sell it on Steam? They'd be at a loss. Like, he laughs at the prospect of Steam. Like, even though the Epic store is so new, or like the Discord store is so new, like he laughs at the prospect of it alone because there's no reason to sell it there. There's no reason to sell it on Steam. Steam takes 30% versus Epic takes less.
Warframe's on the Discord store.
I think it's 12% from Epic, which is nuts. Yeah, we were talking about that before where you went to go use the bathroom there. It's if you push to Epic. Right. If Bungie went to Epic and said, hey, here's this massive IP, we want to sell it on your store. Epic's going to go, cool. Here's a bunch of advertising we're going to do for you because that's going to draw people to our store. So they're going to advertise for you just based on the fact it's going to draw more customers to them in the first place.
Yeah.
And they already have a shit ton of eyes on their store because they own Fortnite and that's where they're selling it from.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Epic can make so many big money moves now just because of the way that they've set themselves up.
So yeah, Valve is a shit ton of money. Valve doesn't do anything with their money.
No, that's why nobody really respects them right now, in all honesty.
They don't make games anymore. They don't make an engine. Their store is
Source 2 has been on the verge of release for 5 years.
right. Like they have a bad track record for customer service. Now, I know a lot of people have seen the recent articles saying the Better Business Bureau, gave Epic an F. Better Business Bureau is not a governmental body. They're a group of nonprofits that work together. To be affiliated with the Better Business Bureau, you have to pay them money, which Epic refuses to do. So anybody who complains to the Better Business Bureau, those don't get sent to Epic. And the amount of complaints they got was like 247, which is why they said, oh, they get an F for these 247 unanswered complaints. That's a lot of complaints. Fortnite has over 200 million players. Okay, that's not the only thing Epic makes. It's not even the biggest thing Epic makes. Their engine is the biggest thing Epic makes.
Yeah, they make Unreal, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Exactly.
So,
that's
Fortnite. All those complaints look like they're from Fortnite parents. That percentage of 200 million that complained to the Better Business Bureau is 0.0000012
percentage small as dicks.
Like it's not even 100th, not even 1,000th of a percent. It's like less than the 10,000th of a percentage of the player base has complained to the Better Business Bureau, but they're like, oh, you get an F for that. Bullshit. Like bullshit. They're mad because Epic doesn't like to play ball and doesn't want to pay them for stuff. And the Better Business Bureau has long been known to be a little shady, especially when it comes to people not paying them. It's like, oh, you're not going to pay us? Well, we're going to give you worse reviews.
I have never
always been a
heard
correlation
this.
for them.
That's good to know, though.
There's a lot of articles about it. People tend to think they're on the up and up. They tend to think, oh, they're related to the government. They're not. They have no ties to the government. They have no
as
ties
much
to anything.
alliteration as Better Business Bureau has to be.
Well, that's the thing. It's for them, the way they've marketed themselves over the years is masterful. But they are
genius.
Shady as fuck.
No, listen. Having smart moves doesn't stop you from being a total piece of shit.
Yeah, good marketing is no indication of a good person. It's just they have good marketing.
Not.
But like a lot of nonprofits, they're very shady. And for a nonprofit, they make an insane amount of money charging businesses to be affiliated with them.
What's the nonprofit for breast cancer?
There's a few, and
the big one they use is pink.
The pink ribbon thing.
Yeah, that one.
I think that's the Breast Cancer Foundation.
No, it's some like
woman's name. Is it the Wellness Foundation? No,
it's a woman's name.
Oh, you might be thinking of a different one than we have up here, right? That's the.
It probably.
Because up here, I think the big one is the Canadian Cancer Society. It's the one that runs the big one up here.
Yeah,
which is obviously not the same as. Yeah, my girlfriend just got home, so the dog's like, "Hey." Yeah, up here it's the Canadian Cancer Society, which is actually kind of a trustworthy one. So. There is a pink ribbon, International Breast Cancer Awareness one. So yeah, I don't know which one you're thinking of. There's a crap ton.
I'm trying to think of it.
Is it the run for the Susan Coleman run for the?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Susan Coleman, whatever. So she, all of the pink ribbon stuff is under her name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are a nonprofit dedicated to breast cancer research. The amount of money that they have spent on breast cancer research in the last 20 years is super low.
Oh,
they spend over 99% of it on paying their employees. Yes. They almost 0% of the money they spend goes to actual breast cancer research, and there are a million better ways to do it. But you will see their commercials
all over the place. We had a discussion the other day, just this week actually, in Socket Monk's Mixer channel.
Mm-hmm. Good guy, salt of the earth.
So we had this discussion in there, and we were talking about nonprofits. So nonprofits in the States, and this is going to be different per country, but for the States, it's like 10%. So 10% of all money they bring in is all they have to give to the actual charity.
Yep.
That's it. So
What's
if you
the
bring in
percentage?
100 million, like 10%.
Jesus. Okay.
So that's like pennies on the dollar, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's 10 cents every dollar. It's a ridiculously low amount of money. And there are ways they can even try to reduce that down because it's like 10% after cost or something like that. There's things they can get around for that too. It's dumb. So a lot of these things, what they do is they, go, oh, it costs us this much to run stuff. So they take all that money out first. Then they're like, oh, we got to pay our employees. So they take that money out. Like, well, we're going to give the minimal away then. And then this huge chunk of money that's left, we're going to go and put it in the bank. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, what?
A lot of nonprofits are shady as fuck.
Most nonprofits, not even a lot. It's almost 100% of nonprofits are incredibly shady. Even the ones that start out with, great intentions run by great people. And it's not their fault. It's just they tend to grow. And once they grow, there's a subset of people who work in that type of industry who go, oh, these are great places to make a shit ton of money.
Yep.
And, get a big fat paycheck from playing on people's fears and from playing on people's sympathies. And that's what the whole thing is basically built around. And there's even companies that set up a nonprofit to bring in customers to the nonprofit and then run a business separate from that, where they basically market themselves as part of the nonprofit. So people will buy stuff from them and make a shit ton of money that way. But because they're not actually a nonprofit, they never have to show you the books. And was it Tom Shoes is a good example for people who.
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
Don't know. Tom Shoes is a shoe company. Their big spiel was that for every pair of shoes someone buys, we'll donate one to charity, which sounds like a great deal. Until you start finding out how much clothing costs to actually and how much they're actually donating. And it's disgusting. And it was basically a business growing on people's sympathy, saying, oh, a great thing. I buy their shoes for all this money, and then, they'll give to charity. Okay. Well, that pair of shoes you bought, let's say it cost $100. Pair of shoes they donate cost them maybe $5.
Yeah, no, like the shoes were extremely inexpensive to make. To be fair, they were like very simple shoes. It was just like
to be fair, all clothing is insanely simple to make.
Yeah.
I've worked in that market, and the market, like the markup on clothing is insane.
It's all, it's definitely
especially for shoes.
About
the shoe market especially is really bad.
The shoe game, oh my god, the sneaker game is crazy.
Did you hear the article? I'm pretty sure you all did, about Payless opening up the shoe store, calling it Palessi, and marking everything up to like $600 when normally the shoes are like $20.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it'd be like so Payless, right, which is a quote unquote budget store, set up
you're supposed to pay less.
Yeah, they set up a store, marked it all fancy, like really fancy artwork and signs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Called it Plessy or something like that.
Plessy. They basically
it was basically pay less pronounced differently.
Yeah,
which is even best.
And
that's amazing.
They got all these.
So they had a bunch of fake influencers come in, and like a bunch of like fake press come in, and people are like, ooh, what's going on? Like, ooh, it's a grand opening. Oh, look at all these people, and they're raving about these shoes, and they mark the shoes up to like $600, stuff like that. And they're the same shoes you could buy at Payless, the exact same pairs. And then they would go up to women who were there, right, looking at buying shoes and going, well, here's this pair of shoes. What would you pay for them? And they take in everything that's going on around them, the ambiance and all that. Oh, those I'd pay like $400 for those. They're a $12 pair of shoes.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And like that's like scummy and like, oh, that's bad. But
well, here's the thing. They did it as a way of showing that this is what actually happened. Yes, people actually bought them. But they returned all of the money.
See,
So,
I love that. I love that because
they told them and then refunded every single cent. They made no, basically showing people that you're stupid. Stop being stupid. Pay a decent amount for your shoes. Like the same quality, same look, same everything. They're just not marked up, 600%.
Exactly. But I love that like concept of just like tricking people into it, like very obviously. Like that's somebody recorded that and put it on YouTube.
Yes, and it never doesn't always work either. There is a another store, again, American one. Rather than women's clothing stores, for those who aren't aware, if you're a guy and don't buy a lot of women's clothing for
I wear women's clothing, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's fine. I used to date someone who used to be a manager for women's stores, so I learned a lot of the ins and outs for them. What they tend to do is they tend to do cyclical sales, right? So they'll go, here's the price of this. There's a sale coming up in a couple of weeks, so the price might start higher than it really should be. And then when the sale comes around, it gets marked down to what would be typically the normal price, and then we go back up, right? And it's always with 0.99, like 95 cents or 99 cents, right? Always. That's a sales tactic you'll see everywhere. Rather than saying something's $3, say, oh, it's $2.99. Oh, it's $2.99. It's less than $3.
I mean,
really less than $3. A penny is not really worth much, especially nowadays.
And then you got to add tax, so it's over $3.
Especially if you're up here in Canada. So what this store basically decided to do is let's stop screwing around with people like this. We're going to go, there's no more sales ever. Our prices are set, and they're going to be rounded up to the nearest dollar. So if something was $2.99, it's now $3. So it made shopping super easy there. You could look at something, go, it's always going to be this price. That's a fair market value for that object. And I can tell easily how much it's going to cost me. Their sales plummeted by over 25%.
Yep.
No, listen, consumers are fucking stupid. And here's my favorite reason why. So McDonald's came out with their quarter pound burger. It was when the original quarter pounder with cheese came out. And they sold it for $3 a burger or something like that. Burger King came out with a third pounder burger. It's more meat.
Yeah.
And they sold it for less than McDonald's sold their burgers for. And they made less business because everyone thought that a third pounder had less meat in it.
Because it was a 3 instead of a 4. They went, well, 4 is a higher number, so it must be more.
Exactly. The general public is fucking stupid. And this is how it works. Any individual person you talk to on the street is a wonderful person. They're smart, they're incredible, and they're fun, and they're great to be around. If you take a group of 10 people on the street, they're all fucking idiots.
Oh, their IQ goes down.
That's how science works.
The herd mentality and the herd intelligence of humans is incredibly low. It's shocking.
Some grateful philosopher said, "I love humans, but I hate humanity." Yeah, and it's such a real thought.
Yeah, they should have called it the 2/6 pounder. People would have bought it.
Yeah, they would have. That's the thing. If they called it like the 2/6 pounder, not a great name, but they would have probably sold.
Look,
they could have called it
the straws here. Okay,
the pounder squared.
They could have put in 1/5 and still made more money. It's dumb.
It's the concept that they were selling a better product for a better deal and were getting screwed over because people were dumb. That's the point that's being made.
I would find it easier to sell something for $19.99 than it would for probably $19 square, even. It's just dumb. It's more money, but people will buy it more because they're like, oh, it's a deal because it's less than $20.
Yeah, I've gotten into the habit of if something's $19.99, it's $20.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how much it costs. It's a lie that it costs less than that. Oh, it's $29.99. That's $300.
You guys have sales tax and stuff down there. I mean,
depending on the state,
depending on state, But your taxes down there, as much as I see news and stuff like that, people complaining about taxes, your taxes at the highest place at the like most expensive city and the most like taxed state you have are still lower than Canada.
Are they really?
Far.
That's
Let's put it this way.
hilarious.
I pay 15% sales tax and stuff
Damn, really?
for everything I buy.
Damn.
There are a few things that are immune to sales tax here in Canada, but they're all food staples. So
Yeah,
things like
it's the same. We
milk,
don't pay
right?
sales tax on food here either.
But other food items like meat and stuff, you do.
Yeah.
So
there's specific things that you do and don't.
yeah, up here there's specific food items you don't. The rest of it you pay sales tax on. And that's just how it is, right? I mean, Alberta has it the lowest tax amount in Canada, but they're still at like 7-8%. So, and they're the province that has all the oil.
Losers with oil.
Well, the amount of oil in Alberta is nuts. But again, we have a lot of resources up here, right? I mean, there's a reason we have never sold you guys water.
Yeah, because Nestle steals it from our lakes and sells it back to us.
There's that. But the main reason we don't sell America water is that thanks to NAFTA, and I don't know about the new agreement we have because it's not fully ratified yet, so it hasn't been published. But NAFTA basically says that if we sell you something as a resource, we can't stop selling that thing to you.
That's fun.
So our country has never sold water to you, ever, because we have the world's largest amount of reserve fresh water, and you guys constantly have droughts in most of your southern states.
California was in a drought for 10 years.
Yes, it's because you have agriculture in an area that doesn't have, the water table for it. You grow so many things in that little area that requires so much water that, there's no irrigation system in the world that could, feed that unless you start buying your water from Canada. And we're like, nope. It's not like we're doing anything with this water. It's sitting around in lakes and stuff like that.
Maybe California shouldn't be growing fucking avocados when we can't afford to send our kids to school.
Yes, there's that. The fact that you guys don't have universal health care or universal education for your kids, given the amount of money that you make, like that your government can possibly make on taxes alone just by putting the tax rate up, is nuts.
We do have universal education, but it's kind of trash.
Yes, we do pay less for our pension plan, right? Answering somebody in chat. And our taxes on average are less than yours. Yeah, as from what I know of tax amounts, it means Drake, don't feel bad for Drake. That means Drake makes a good paycheck.
Yeah. It's still a pretty solid amount.
However, with Canadian ones, you can get closer to that amount that Drake has there if you make over the minimum wage. If you have a 2-income family. It gets super easy to hit the higher tax brackets in Canada. That's insane. Like the amount you hit them at is stupidly low, which is not a great thing. But again, we don't have a huge population, so we do have higher taxes to fund stuff, and we do have more to fund than you, such as our healthcare system. But if you guys instituted a 5% tax, and all that money went to healthcare, you could probably fund your healthcare. That's
a lot of money.
It is.
We probably do not need a 5% tax for that.
You have over 300 million people in your country. You 5%.
Considering how many people we have, I don't think 5% on everybody is required. I think it could be probably lower or higher in some places.
You got to remember that 300 million though also encapsulates kids. So it's not 300 million per se. It's
you
have a bunch of people who don't work, right? So you kind of have to make sure it's higher to cover the people who are going to be missing.
Yeah.
No, I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying.
And here's the thing. Sure, if you have, let's say you have a huge amount of excess because of that tax, great. You know what that means? That means that money can go to improving the healthcare in places where it's not great, building hospitals, improving infrastructure for the hospitals in other places where they're there, training more doctors and nurses. Like there's lots of things you can do with that money. It's just it's not done because for some reason your politicians keep screaming that it's not possible.
Oh my God.
Blows
I
my
don't
mind.
even want to touch
Politics.
politics with a 20-foot pole.
Let's shut down our entire government because we can't spend money.
Yeah.
But let's keep paying ourselves. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, I will say there have been a couple of politicians, the ones I've seen are actually Republicans, who've come out and said, "Don't pay me." Well, this is going on. Don't pay me because it's not right.
Well, it's like that's how it should work. Like,
And good on them.
that's what Germany does. Their government shuts down. Nobody gets paid.
Yeah.
Almost
As
like
far as
it
I'm
makes
concerned,
sense.
government shouldn't have the ability to shut down like this.
Yeah,
They
right.
really
What the
should.
fuck?
If they're
really
shut
silly.
down, the people who rely on governmental paychecks should still be paid. It's not like they're not working. These people are furloughed. It means they're working without pay. It's insanely stupid.
I work for the government too. Not
Yeah.
now, but when I do,
You
work,
usually
I
do,
work for
yeah.
the
When you're not in school and working, yeah, you're a government employee. I've done government
So,
work, and
yeah.
generally speaking, the government is a great thing to work for.
It's a
You know?
listen, if you can get a government job, you're like set.
Yeah,
I can't get fired from that job no matter how
Yeah.
hard I try.
it's very difficult to get removed from a government job, like insanely difficult. But yeah, it's a thing. But let's leave it that there because going into politics is usually
I
a
don't,
good idea
I
for a lot of
don't
things.
want to do that.
Now, has anybody given, just to steer us back to what our normal topic is about, any thought whatsoever about what they want to look at next? Because we can't really look at something new because, as I mentioned earlier, the newer shows that are out, well, there are a couple that do look interesting for us to take a look at. We're going to have to give it probably 2 weeks just so they have, 3 episodes out.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. I picked Gurren Laggan because I wanted to have something that I would actually possibly enjoy. So like,
Which you turned out to enjoy.
yeah.
Definitely, Gurren Laggan is something I would recommend, especially if you have Netflix.
Yeah.
Go and watch it because it's on there. Netflix is free. You're not paying for it. It's a good show. Do they have a non-dubbed version, like a dubbed version on Netflix? Or,
Wait,
no, so
it's
all
only
subtitled?
dubbed. There is no subtitle version. It's all
Okay.
English. So yeah, I like that. I don't want to have to read. Like I don't.
Yeah, you're not.
We've
not a
talked
fan
about
of
this
subtitles.
before. Like I
Yeah,
like
you're,
to.
you're not a
be-
subtitle guy. Yeah.
Right. I just like to be able to hear it.
Well, it's also, I forget who it was. I want to say it was some very famous director said, "I want you to watch my anime in whatever language you speak because I
Yeah.
don't want you to be reading the words while watching it. I want you to enjoy
No, they
it."
want you to pay attention to the show
Right.
as it's going by, right? Which is understandable.
Pork.
So, yeah, there's people here, in-laws.
Fun.
I'm surprised Warlock is being as quiet as he is. He's a very loud pup. Let's take a look.
I'm
here.
surprised Kato has not demanded that I throw his bone yet.
Yeah, usually he's by you by now. He's
I
like, hey,
demand that you
you've been
throw
talking
him
for a
bone.
bit.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Give
come
this thing
up
a
to
throw.
me, but I've managed to get him to go away. Usually he's much more adamant. Oh my god, did you see last week, Copper, where he was like, dude, throw my bone? And I was like, no. And then I took it from him and put it on my desk. I don't know if you noticed that. He was very upset with me. He was like, dude,
like,
what
what?
the fuck are you doing? That is mine.
How dare you
Have here.
steal my bone? You come in here into my house.
Can we just watch One Punch Man again?
We can watch One Punch Man again this year
Okay.
because season 2 will be out.
Okay.
Season 2 is coming. When does season 2 start?
I'm gonna make
Is
Kaylee
Is it like
watch Kill la
February
Kill.
or something?
Oh my god! If I could get
Or is
Kaylee
it-
to be
is
like
it
a guest
spring?
podcaster for Kill la Kill, oh my god, that'd be
Oh,
the
she-
dumbest thing.
April.
I
April
would
comes
not
out.
There you go.
actually
'Cause that's-
Should be
ask
anyways.
her to do that.
Because
one.
that's the
Around
summer or that's spring.
Yeah, so it should be with the spring anime when it comes out, which will be great. We'll
Yes.
definitely be doing that the first week it is out.
Man, can we watch Beyblade Battle Fusion, please?
Vengeance, I'm gonna pick something that you'll intentionally hate.
I just looked at.
Because
I'm
of
just.
you.
I'm just looking up Ichi now. So we're gonna.
What is
Here,
Mobile
we
Suit?
should
Mobile
watch
Suit
Arrow Manga Sensei.
Mobile
we
Suit
haven't-
Gundam Unicorn.
We haven't touched an Ichi in a while, so, like really at all.
Oh,
because
that's
they creep
each
channel
episode
out.
is an hour. Okay, no,
Here, I'll be right back.
No.
Let's take a look here.
Be right back to give my 2 cents.
Technically, we could watch Kill la Kill. It does fall in the genre. But I don't think it's enough to really horrify Dale.
Okay. Is that what we're trying to do? We're trying to fuck me up now? All right, it's fine. It's fine. I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
Let's see. We have High School DxD.
I am emotionally ready
Uh,
to hate you fuckers. Glitter Force? Oh my god, that sounds great. What's Edo? Edo on Netflix. That looks like there's a robot involved.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
All right, I'm prepared. I have the Google machine open. What am I typing?
Okay.
For a teaser.
So, I'll read you the plot.
Okay.
So, in an alternate version of Japan, because it's an anime, so it takes Japan, strict and eccentric morality laws have been implemented.
Morality laws.
Yes. Citizens are closely monitored to ensure that they remain chaste for life. So dirty talk, vulgar acts, perverse jokes, and naughty sensations are all considered to be unnecessary. So they have all been strictly prohibited. This is the world of, let's see here, Shimonita. Probably pronouncing it very wrong. Excuse my being Caucasian. It's a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. Fortunately, the oppressive laws have some loopholes. And SOX, S-O-X, an organization that's hell-bent on spreading dirty jokes, is determined to reveal the flaws of adhering to such unconventional laws. Blue Snow is the leader of SOX, and she has somewhat forcefully recruited the main character to help accomplish SOX's dirty mission. Reforming the country and abolishing the ridiculous laws are a huge endeavor to accomplish. Will SOX ever succeed? So this is definitely a Ichi manga. This is the name of it. Just gotta drop that in your chat.
No, okay, I couldn't.
Oh,
I
it's
wasn't
doing the
spelling it
thing.
right. I tried to Google it, but I'm okay.
So this is a thing, by the way, Dale. If you look at your on-screen thing here, you'll notice that what I just typed came up as stars. That's because there's a space in front of whatever I type. So it's a weird thing that happens. The bot.
What? Oh, if you put a space,
It makes anything you type after stars.
Huh!
There. Yeah.
Well,
weird,
look
eh?
at that. All right. Well, then I didn't know that.
Yes. We found that out in Socket's channel, and we don't know how to fix it.
There we go. That's the actual thing.
Yes,
Wait,
that's the thing.
What are you doing?
We're showing something. I was just showing something to Dale. A weird little bug in the bot he uses for his chat.
Wow, it does show up as stars in your chat,
Yeah, weird, eh?
but
It
not
shows
like
up
in the chat.
Not
If
in the
you put
normal
a
chat, no, but
space-
just on the on-screen thing. It's weird. If you put a space before anything that you type, it's not a bug. Don't know how to remove it. So if you take a look at the chat there, Comfy, you'll find the name of the anime that I just suggested to Dale.
Shimonetta?
Yes.
All right, let's look this
I
up.
don't know if you've seen this.
I'm scared. It actually doesn't look that bad. Like the.
It sure doesn't.
Okay, listen.
I'm
I see
scared,
someone
though.
with panties on their head. I'm all in.
Good.
Wait, I missed
Because
that.
That's part of the uniform they
this
Oh
wear.
my god!
this is-
How did I miss
know what
this?
show this is now. I know what show this is now. Oh my god, Copper! Wait, you're having him watch the Love Nectar show?
Yes, I'm having to
What?
watch the Love Nectar show. Let's not explain that. Let's have Dale experience that for himself.
Is it?
I know exactly what show this is now.
I can also tell that someone in our chat here has looked it up. That's the response that they
What
had.
is this?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
I'm scared.
God.
I'm scared.
So this will be an interesting one. This show is actually pretty funny.
Well,
is
it's here. Let me read the synopsis from my anime list. With the introduction of strict new morality laws, Japan has become a nation cleansed of all that is obscene and impure. By
Yeah,
monitoring
Copper already read
citizens
that.
using
You are
special
late.
devices.
I went through that for Dale already. The great thing about that description is that it doesn't really go into what the show is or how horrifying that it will get for Dale. But yeah, if you got that GIF that Drake dropped into chat,
he DM'd it to me. Oh, I see it. Oh, I am excited.
Oh, we're dying.
So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, this one's not on Netflix, I promise. So next week, I already forgot how to pronounce this shit. Shimonita?
Shimoneta.
Shimoneta? Yeah, it's the
whatever. God, don't make me pronounce it right, too.
Have you seen the long form of the name?
I don't want to. I don't care.
Wait, no, I have it. I have it right here.
I'm scared, guys. No. All right.
Shimoneta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist.
Not that, the long form of the name. It's
Shimoneta to Iu Gainen ga Sonzai Shinai Taikutsu na Sekai.
There you go. So there's a mouthful for you.
This is why I'm the half a weeb, guys.
It's another one of those shows where it's a phrase at the title.
Okay. All right.
Wait, what? I want to remember what it's called. My friend sent me, there's a manga, and it's titled like That Time I Turned Into a Hot Tub and All the Girls Bathed Inside of Me. Real content.
I think it's the world where dirty jokes don't exist.
That's what this one is. It's the world.
I'm scared.
A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist.
Yeah. So it's a phrase. It makes sense in English, but yeah,
make it fun.
It'll
Light
be
novels.
interesting.
Okay.
This is one show I wish they'd get more episodes for.
All right, so that's the plan for next week. Where can everybody find you guys on the internet? Comfy.
Hi, I'm Comfy. You can find me at mixer.com/comfygamer or at twitter.com@thecomfygamer. And you can now find us on our new super cool, totally live website,
Where you can also find this podcast.
Where you can also find this podcast at suboptimal.co.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me here on Mixer, Copper Lion. You can find me on Twitter as well as Instagram. Anybody looking for graphics and whatnot, I do have some slots opening up soonish. But yeah, that's where I am. And Dale?
You can find me at mixer.com/Mr. Vengeance, Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Vengeance X7. I do daily Instagram posts, and I'm always active on Twitter. So come find me there. Me and Comfy stream every day, mostly.
Yeah, I'll be winding back into it.
Yeah,
soon.
I'll be winding up soon because we have Anthem coming out, which I pre-ordered this week.
Well, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week for episode number 3 of 2.5 Weebs, where we talk about that Shimonita show that I probably mispronounced again. But thanks for hanging out.